What's up, people? What's going on? Getting back at you. It's the Black Quarterback Forum YouTube channel and the Black Quarterbacks in Effect.com. Me and my man Smeeze.
What up, people?
It's week 7 analysis, right?
Yep.
It's our 12th video, though, so it's our 12th edition of this. We having fun going through the year as things are changing week to week. You see, I'm sporting. It's a Tyrod Taylor jersey. I know it's San Diego. He's played for a lot of different teams. But I happen to in Baltimore. But he was drafted by Baltimore, right? No?
I'm not sure if he drafted him, but I know he was there for a while.
Right.
He was supposed to start and got sick, and then Flacco. That's
Right.
when they brought in Flacco. But that was supposed to be Tyrod Taylor, and I feel like he could have did the same thing Flacco did, probably a year or two sooner.
But I'm wearing his jersey because I saw some Twitter postings earlier this week about him being the first black quarterback to win a game for the Giants in the Giants franchise. And I didn't pay too much attention to it. I thought, well, yeah, whatever. They had Geno, but I guess it turned out to be true. And I'm like, so I was telling my man Smeeze before the start, is the Giants the last team to have a black quarterback win for them? Just win a game.
I think so.
So that's funny and it's historic at the same time.
I mean, I kind of thought back and tried to think of some teams, some situations, but all of them at least had a black quarterback for a small stretch
That won a
to where
game.
it's like you probably at least won a game in that situation. Like you think the Bengals, what they had Brooks and they had, you know what I
Achilles
mean,
Smith.
Kenny or Achilles Smith.
For as horrible as he
like,
was, he probably won a
They
game.
won a game. Or you think, you know what I'm
Even the
saying,
Jets.
the Jets,
Geno Smith.
Smith, he won at least a game for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, the Patriots. But then Cam probably won a game. Or
He's on the backup on not the Colts, but he's the backup. Jacoby Brissett.
Brissett won a game for him. Like,
So every team but the Giants have had a black quarterback. So that's why I'm wearing this jersey in honor of Tyrod Taylor. I posted at the website, people. Okay? Now we're going to get into what I just want to talk about is the 2 top teams in each conference. Because at the end of the day, that's all make to the conference championship, right?
yeah,
It's 2.
top 2.
Top 2. And me and Smeeze, we disagree on some of it, but very famous, world famous person out there in TV land said kind of similar to what I said. So we look at the AFC first because it's much simpler. It's the Ravens and the Chiefs, period. Top 2 teams.
I said last week, Ravens number 1 team in football and in the AFC. You didn't have them in the top 3. What did we do? 3, 4 teams last week? You didn't have them in the top.
Yeah,
no,
it was.
you didn't.
Yeah,
I
it
don't think
was.
you had them in there.
Because they're the 3rd division winner
Okay.
after Miami and Kansas City. They was number 3.
Miami and Kansas City. Miami.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying right now, though, after 7 weeks,
I get it.
Right, there was, yeah. There
So
was
what?
Yeah.
What did the Ravens do to make you now put them up there with?
Oh, come on, man. You know what they
Ravens
did.
first.
You know what they did. They beat down Detroit. Like we said, the Cinderella story stops here. Well, we meant last week. It's been almost a week now. But y'all know, they own Detroit. Come on, man. You know how much I love Lamar and the Ravens. And it's just they moved up. It's consistency. That's what everybody talk about. That's what I in my
And the Ravens been the
commentary.
only consistent team in all of football.
Right.
And week
So,
in and week out,
yes.
they've been consistent.
So then they got to maintain that throughout the season. And if, as we talked about before the video, because we get our stuff together. We don't just get out here and say whatever, people. But we talked about, like, if it holds the form,
Yeah,
the
those are
Ravens
good too.
and the Chiefs, they can lose another game or 2, right? If you look at the season now, we chop it up into thirds. We talked about, because it's 18 weeks, but, you know, they play 17 games.
Yeah.
So we've played 7 games. That's pretty much, and then now we're in the second third of the season.
Yeah.
So if things continue as form, Ravens and Chiefs would be, 13-4 at worst, 14-3. And they're going to go back and forth between the number 1, 2 seed. Well, here's the deal. Colin Cowherd, right, said, okay, of all the other teams that are in the playoffs right now, what quarterback would you pick to beat either Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson on the road of the playoff teams? Okay? You want to go through them? Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland?
No.
You going to go with any of their quarterbacks? Or
No.
Tua and the Dolphins in the cold weather?
I don't like the weather.
Right. So, Okay, here's the deal, right? This is what NFL ain't gonna say. They want to keep the Aaron Rodgers dream alive. Because once Aaron Rodgers is gone, the top quarterback, and it's already happening right now. The top quarterbacks in the AFC and I was saying the Super Bowl, not the Super Bowl, but in the league are black. Period. Right in the top. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. You say Eagles okay? It's
for the
not
most
Johnny.
part,
Yeah, they're black,
like, yeah,
but they ain't gonna say it
I
on
mean,
the
the
NFL.
best is Mahomes.
Right. It did Lamar. Look.
I've always liked Lamar. Obviously,
Yeah. If that trophy get too heavy for Patrick, give it to Lamar because the Ravens are coming. Trust me. But anyway, let's go to the NFC. The top two teams. Me and disagree big time. I say the Eagles, and then I say, okay, well, there's 3-4 other teams that could be the next best. But you say,
to me, I say the number one team is the Lions.
Okay.
And this weekend, to me, proved the Lions the number one team in the NFC.
You mean this weekend coming up?
This weekend it just happened.
Why? Because the way they lost to the Ravens?
Not the way they lost, but before you can make that true jump, you now got to see what the bar is. We think we hear, and for us to think we hear, we know what we've been doing, which is great. What we've been doing has been great. But we know there's a higher bar, and now we got to practice harder and achieve that bar.
Practice harder.
You know what I'm saying? We got to put more effort in.
Okay.
What we've been doing ain't been working. Like we led the league.
No, it's been working.
We never gave up 100 yards. You're right, it's been working. And then you go play the Ravens and you give up 100 yards in the first quarter.
Beat down.
But to me, you learned that was a loss you learned from.
I guarantee you this: if the Eagles,
the Lions,
the Ravens,
Niners,
it would not be 28-0 at halftime.
It might.
No.
It might.
No. Okay, so the Lions and the Niners. I say Eagles and Niners. We kind of agree on the second team. But then, once again, in the NFC, outside of those three teams, okay, say Eagles, Lions, and Niners, right? So who else would sneak in? Let's just say you had to play one of those teams on the road in the Lions, crazy dome, outside in Philly, cold, wintry, but in San Fran, nice weather possibly, right?
Yeah.
So who else would beat them, right? Would it be Dak, Geno? Who else? Who else you can throw? Kirk Cousins? You think the Lions, the Vikings get back
as we talked about, I think Kirk Cousins could be a dark horse.
Okay. If they stop turning the ball over this year, they did beat 49ers, but that was a primetime Monday night game, which we all talked about.
Kirk normally doesn't play well.
Right, but they weird and everything changes. It's like some missed.
I lose those games, and I came out and lit that 49ers defense up. And what it showed is the 49ers aren't creative in the blitz. So they just going to
Did they get any sacks in that game?
Not really. They might have got
They put pressure. But you know what?
No,
they didn't. No, I was going to say they got pressure. But no, they got pressure on them is what I'm saying.
No, not really. They didn't get pressure.
There was this one play. I was talking to another friend about this. I don't know if you remember, and I wish we had all the high tech and I could show you the video that Kirk Cousins made. No, there was pressure.
Yeah.
And he was falling down and threw the ball to a spot.
Yeah.
He couldn't even see where he was throwing. He just knew that the receiver should be right there.
Yeah.
And it got completed.
Yeah.
And so that was precision efficiency. And I was like, that was from practice of 100,000 times doing that. And that
you ain't really practicing falling.
Right, no.
You know where it is.
Exactly. And that, to me, that's football. That's the greatness.
Yes.
But Kirk was great that night, dude. I mean, when they thought that they should run, they were passing. When they thought that they should pass. And you had to make plays, though. Because that one play where the receiver took the ball and they had him twice, right? The defender took it early in the game, and then the receiver took it late.
Yeah.
I mean, that's football. I love that. But I still don't think they'll beat the Eagles on the road late in the season.
I mean, I think if it came down to that late in the season, the Vikings would be on a hell of a win streak. And they'd be playing hot, like we talked about. They'd be the hot team at that point. But as of right now, no. But I'm just saying, the Vikings with the upcoming schedule they got, it could be a different story week 10, week 11 when we talk.
It could.
Not that they're going to supersede up there, but they'll at least make that conversation with
interesting.
The outside.
And that's the fun of football.
And the sad part about it is, I can't even talk about my Saints. I like riding on the Saints.
They're the one team that's not in the playoffs, right?
Tampa Bay gonna lose tonight, but the thing about it is they're gonna be in the playoffs because Tampa Bay gonna lose tonight, Atlanta gonna lose, and The Saints gonna win next week, and they'll be number one in the division. Like, hey, we just gotta win the division. That'll make so much true. We got a ticket to the dance, and my prediction for the NFC South will be right.
But see, here's the thing with both South divisions.
They
Just
terrible.
like exactly, and it don't
Terrible.
matter who comes out of either one. I don't get
Jacksonville hype, but
right, whatever. Please, just like Colin Cowherd said, please don't even go there because they're not. It's not gonna happen in the AFC. Okay, not gonna. But yeah, the hype and hope.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
My dog stole his water bottle. But anyway, all right, people, this is session 1. We're going to get back at you. It's going to be Ravens Central. I'm sorry. But just like the national shows, I'm going to hate watching someone because they be having a cut out of the Jets quarterback. We about to talk about it, okay?
JT money.
Right, we'll get back at you, people.